Hey guys, welcome back to Loft Sports. It's Tyler. So just watched the end of the Notre Dame USC game. Trojans take down the Irish 38-27. A couple of takeaways from this game. I'll be honest. Leading up to this game, I thought Notre Dame would go in there and play really well against USC. I thought up front on both sides of the ball, I'll be honest, I thought Notre Dame was going to be the better team in this game. I thought we were more challenged throughout the season, playing Ohio State, playing a physical BYU team, playing, a good North Carolina offense earlier in the season on the road, playing Clemson. I thought we were a little more battle-tested. I mean, USC had really their schedule was backloaded. They played Oregon State, who apparently is a pretty good team. They beat Oregon today. And they played Utah. Utah and UCLA were really the two teams. And I watched both of those games. I've watched a lot of USC play this year, even though I live on the East Coast and they come on, late in the day for me. And I'm up till past midnight watching their games. I've watched USC play quite a bit. And they didn't really impress me on defense. UCLA ran the ball for quite a bit on them. Utah was able to run the ball for quite a bit on them. Oregon State's defense kept USC in check for most of that game. I think the final score of that game, it was way back early in the year, but it was like a 17-14 final score. So I thought Notre Dame could come in and run the football and play the style of football that we have been able to play. Now, we get behind early. USC executes their first drive, the plays they've practiced all week. They go right down the field and score. We come out and go 3 and out. They get the ball. They take up, essentially on their first 2 drives, they take up the bulk of the first quarter, and they're up 10-0. And we're driving the ball down the field. We get stopped on a 4th and 1 where we try to run a tight end sneak on a full yard. We just didn't get the ball rolling offensively. It took way too long tonight, and that's a credit to USC's defense. Alex Grinch has been a defensive coordinator for a long time. He was a longtime coordinator at Oklahoma, came with Riley to USC, and I'm going to be honest, USC impressed me tonight. They showed they can be physical against a good Notre Dame offensive line. In the second half, we come out, we're driving right down the field, and Drew just fumbles the ball. That was the game, in my opinion. If we're able to go down and score a touchdown and get within 3 points at that point and make it 17-14, I thought Notre Dame could still come back. But once we fumble, they go right down the field. Now it's a 17-point game. Our offense is just not built to kind of play with the tempo necessary to come back from a 3-score deficit on the road against a team like that. Now, a couple of things. Caleb Williams is as advertised, and I knew that coming into this game. I knew he was going to make some special plays. He is a Patrick Mahomes comp. A lot of people have comped him to Patrick Mahomes. I think that's a little aggressive. Patrick Mahomes is clearly the best quarterback in football right now. But listen, this kid is special. Makes throws leaping in the air with no feet on the ground. Getting away from pressure. Our defensive line is not a scrub defensive front. Isaiah Foskey has a lot of sacks. That defense has made life hell for quarterbacks this year. And I thought our defense played well at times. I thought we were a little too conservative and a little too soft in coverage. And I thought we were a little bit too aggressive in the blitz game. We blitzed an awful lot. Al Golden dialed up some blitzes. Now, to be fair, we wanted to get Caleb Williams under pressure and make him duress. But the problem is when he gets out of the pocket and he breaks that contain, it's really a hard thing to get him on the ground. And when he's out on the loose, it's tough. And USC, they looked like a playoff team tonight. Now, they got a lot of help. LSU, how you doing, Brian Kelly? They lost by 2 touchdowns at Texas A&M tonight. Ohio State got dominated by Michigan in Columbus today. And then Clemson fell apart in the second half and lost to South Carolina. And South Carolina, of course, knocked Tennessee out last week. So now all of a sudden, in my opinion, I think you're looking at Georgia at 1, Michigan at 2, TCU at 3, and USC at 4. And if they all win next week, I think that's your playoff. I think it's going to be Georgia and USC and then TCU and Michigan in the other semifinal. I don't see Ohio State getting in unless somebody gets upset. And in my opinion, Michigan and Georgia have done enough that even if they lose in their respective championship games, I think Georgia and Michigan are locks at 12-1, regardless of whether or not they win their league. So USC is 60 minutes away, in my opinion. If they just beat Utah or Oregon, whoever it ends they end up playing, I think the Washington State game will decide who goes. Ironically enough, neither one of those teams can play their way in, but they're playing to get another team in. It's crazy how this works when you don't have divisions anymore. But that's USC's. Yeah, they beat whoever they play in Vegas Friday night. They're going to the playoff, and I got to tip my hat to USC. I mean, I know I kind of talked a big game earlier in the BC video that I did, and I felt like Notre Dame could win this game, and we made some mistakes. Pine fumbles, then we finally get a stop, and he throws a bad pass coming back across the middle. But listen, Caleb Williams has probably played himself into the Heisman top 2 tonight. C.J. Stroud had a bad game. He's probably out. Blake Corum got hurt, didn't play much today. So really, I don't know who else Caleb Williams, with Hendon Hooker being out for the rest of the season, he wasn't able to play the last game. I think Caleb Williams probably won the Heisman tonight. As long as he doesn't come out and do anything terrifyingly bad in the championship game, he's probably going to win the Heisman now. He's played very well. I kind of thought, well, USC had gotten away. They did not play very good against Arizona. They had a kind of an ugly game earlier in the year. I think it was against Washington State. They kind of sluggishly won. They had a tough time beating Oregon State. Now, to be fair, the Pac-12 is much better this year than it's been in years past. Oregon won 9 games. Washington won 9 games. Washington State's won 7. Oregon State won 9. UCLA won 9. So the Pac-12 this year actually kind of rose to the occasion and helped itself. It didn't cannibalize itself quite like it has in years past, and there wasn't a lot of upsets where a 3-win Arizona or Arizona State or Colorado rises up and beats a USC earlier in the season. So it's kind of refreshing that we're going to get some different teams in the playoff. I hate USC, believe me, but it's nice to see some different teams. I'm glad that TCU's in the mix. I'm glad that it's not just going to be Alabama, Clemson, and Ohio State and Georgia again. We're going to get some new blood. So overall, I'm disappointed with the result, but I really appreciated the resilience of this team tonight from Notre Dame. We fell behind by 17 points a couple of different times. We're still fighting. We're still trying to go down the field and score. Pine throws a nice pass to Mayer at the end of the game yes, it's a garbage time touchdown, but at least they're fighting. We didn't come out and just run the ball up the middle and say, well, we lost. We knew we weren't going to win the game once we fell behind 38-21. But at least the team showed some heart. And under a first-year coach, that's a cultural thing. When you come out and you fight till the very last second of the game, that shows that the players want to play for Marcus Freeman. They wanted to represent our university and fight to the bitter end, even though tonight we were just outmatched. Now, if Notre Dame and USC played 5 times, I think Notre Dame could win for sure 1 or 2 of those games. I think the turnovers in this game hurt us. I think getting off to a slow start hurt us. I think we won the toss, if I'm not mistaken, and deferred. Probably should have took the ball in hindsight and went down the field. Now, to be fair, we got the ball to start the third quarter, and we were driving, had a chance to get back in the game, and then Pine just fumbled the ball. But overall, Drew didn't play terrible tonight. He did make a bad decision at the end. He did have the fumble, but I think he started 15 for 15. He was efficient with his throws. He didn't put the ball in harm's way other than that late pick, which by that point the game was probably over anyway. We still had a chance if we go down and score, and we did have all our timeouts. But at the end of the day, finishing 8-4 after starting the season 0-2 with losses to Ohio State and Marshall and losing the quarterback Buckner for the season, guys, I'll take it. I mean, I know we wanted to win this game tonight. I know we wanted to spoil USC's chance. We wanted to have an outside shot at a New Year's Six Bowl, which was on the table the way things shook up today with LSU and Clemson and all these other teams losing. Probably wouldn't have happened, but guys, 8-4 in Marcus's first year after the start we had, USC's a good team, okay? We didn't lose to Stanford tonight, and I use Stanford because when we lost to Stanford and we were 3-3, I really didn't think this team was going to make a bowl game. And then we get on a 5-game win streak, and we fought till the end tonight. And as a fan, that's all you can ask for. Let's see who we play in a bowl game. Let's see if we can win a bowl game, carry some momentum into the offseason, continue to recruit. Let's get better. I do think the quarterback position has to be better next year. I love that Drew Pine came in off the bench and played his butt off for this team. I can't tell you enough how much I appreciate that as a fan. But if we're going to be a team that takes a next step next year and competes for 10, 11, 12 wins and a playoff spot, we're going to have a little more consistent play at quarterback. Drew is great, and I don't want to single people out and talk bad because he's playing quarterback at Notre Dame. He's doing more than I'll ever do athletically in my life. But you look at the difference in quarterback, and it's truth. Caleb Williams is a first-round talent. He's the reason USC is going to go to the playoff. Drew Pine, as good as he's played at times, he is limited. So if Notre Dame can get the quarterback position to where it needs to be, Notre Dame should have a top 15 quarterback in college football. They really should. They should have a C.J. Stroud or a Bryce Young or a Caleb Williams. They should be able to go out and get those kind of players. We're getting them on defense. We're getting them at tight end, God knows. We have a three-headed monster in the backfield. We're a couple of elite receivers and quarterback away from being a national championship team. I really believe that. We have young defensive backs. They played great at the end of the season. The future is bright, and that's all that really matters. After this game tonight, moving forward, finishing the season 8-4 after the start we had, and now looking ahead to 2023, I feel optimistic that Notre Dame is in good hands going forward. And as a fan, that's all I think I can ask for at this point. Hopefully Freeman can continue to recruit. Hopefully this staff can grow, and we'll look forward to 2023 next season after the bowl game. We'll see who we play. I might do a preview on the bowl game. Depending on who it is, I might just roll out a video after the bowl game. Reality-wise, it's probably going to be a meaningless game to an extent. It's not going to be a New Year's Six bowl. It's not obviously going to be a playoff game. So it's going to be a glorified scrimmage, essentially. But it is meaningful to the seniors. I want to send them off with one more win, and I want to build momentum for next year. So thank you guys for all the support this season. I'll see you guys after the bowl game. This is Tyler with Loft Sports signing off. Go Irish. Congratulations to USC on a great season and a great win.